Hey, my name's Joel, and in this video, I'm gonna be giving you an overview and my first honest thoughts on this Greenworks 80V electric self-propelled push mower. It's got a 25-inch deck, dual battery ports, bag discharge, and like I said, it's self-propelled. I've got to say right up front, this is one of the most unique push mowers I've tested this year and could quite possibly be my new favorite, so stick around. You don't want to miss a thing. All right, so what we're gonna do is go over the features and functions first, then we're gonna put this to the test. You can see fall is already on its way, and we've got one overgrown section of the lawn out front that we're gonna test this on, but I wanna go over all the features to start. And because this is an electric mower, we're gonna start with the batteries. So you'll see right here on top, these big, large green compartments. These are the battery compartments. Now, it holds 2 batteries, but it only comes with 1. But this is a powerhouse battery. It's an 80V, 40 amp hour lithium ion battery. You've got the battery indicator on the back here. You'll see the 4 LED lights. And if you have any other Greenworks products, which you probably should if you're gonna have a mower like this, just go ahead and invest in the entire line. You can add other Greenworks 80V batteries into this system. I've already tested this out with my 80V from my string trimmer, and it does work, even though those are 2.5 amp hour. This one's 4, that does not matter. You can mix and match, swap them out. And when you're putting one in, it doesn't matter if you put it in left or right, it's gonna auto sense. So you just stick it down in here, slide it down in. You can't do it incorrectly. It's great. These, for some reason, stick up a little higher than I would have expected, and they don't have an actual click locking mechanism on there. It's just these tiny little magnets that hold them in place. So that, I wish that was more of a clip, but not a huge deal. That's where the batteries live. Then right here in the middle, you actually have something I haven't seen on any other push mower this year. It is a key. This little red key here, not a traditional key, but I think it just closes the loop on the electrical circuit. You'll see it's got some connectors there that go into this hole, kind of like you're plugging in a socket or something. Without this in place, the mower will not start. So if you want to keep it in there all the time, you can, or if you want some added security, remove that bad boy and you can place it in there later. This little door closes right on top. And hey, real quick, if you're finding this video helpful, please leave me a thumbs up because that really does help my channel. And something else I find totally unique about this mower, or I've yet to see on any other mower, gas or electric, is this dual blade deck. That's right, we've got 25 inches, but 2 blades underneath. You'll see it's kind of like 2 small mowers. So easy to access, nice big blade mounts here. This is a stamped metal deck, so nothing plastic around here. I really like the quality of the materials down here below between the wheels and the frame. And this is a really cool deck. I think you will get a better cut with dual blades rather than one large blade. 2 different blades to sharpen and maintain, but smaller blades, albeit that. And right here on the back, you have your adjustment handle for the deck. If you can believe it, they have 7 different level options. This is the highest. Look how high that is. I find that to be pretty high. Level 7 all the way down to level 1. That's really low. You just grab this lever, pull it. You can kind of see the exposed spring here. It's all just really mechanical, high quality components. Makes it really easy to do. Just adjust it wherever you want to start. I think starting somewhere in the middle, like 4, would be a good idea. And this would also be a good time to take a look at these wheels. I really like these wheels because they're lightweight and they're not 100% plastic. They seem to have a rubber core tire on the outside, some kind of hardened rubber, and then a plastic wheel. So nothing there that's going to rust over time or corrode, but this seems to be a higher quality wheel than I've seen on other similar electric push mowers this year. And then of course, along the back, you'll see we already have the bag installed. Now, I personally don't use a lot of bag discharge, but this mower doesn't have a side discharge. So if you want to collect your clippings in a bag, you use this bag right here. It's pretty standard. It's got a hardened kind of plastic bottom on it and a big mouth, a handle right here. And if you just pull up this portion of the mower, you'll see there are 2 hanging clips right here that these 2 tabs lock into. They hang, and then the top clips around top. Really not that hard. If you're going to discharge in the bag though, you do want to remove this section. Sometimes these can be tricky. Yeah, you just pull on it, and there's your gateway to load everything into the discharge bag, just like that. And if I was gonna nitpick anything about this deck system, it would be that it doesn't have a side discharge. I'd really like that. But then again, this is wider than every other mower I've tested this year. 25 inches is a big cut for a push mower. So I think that that's perfectly fine. You'll just have to mulch your clippings down below or put them in the bag. And if you remove this bag, this is another cool feature that you can do with a lot of electric mowers, but they make it really easy with this model. You can actually store this vertically. So if you see these green kind of finger holes on the handle, all you do is pop these up, and what they do is they loosen this little tab at the bottom that allow you to take your handle all the way up, snaps into place there at the bottom, and we have a handle down front that you can use to pick up, and you can store this mower vertically in your garage. Now, I'll tell you why I like this mower specifically for that. A lot of mowers do this. They've taken the time to make sure that this back portion of the handle is level with the bottom of the wheel. Not all of them set level on their own like this. So even though it might seem simple, that's not something everybody else has taken the time to engineer and make sure it works as smoothly and as properly as Greenworks. But I will note, I don't think this handle is meant to pick up the entire weight of the unit, because when you do pull on it here, you see some flex. I think this is just meant to kind of lift in this direction here and not pick up like this. So I wouldn't recommend doing that. I would actually just wheel it around like this, because it just makes more sense to travel around for storage that way. Now we're getting ready to do our mowing test, but let me just talk a little bit about this handle and the controls, because they're not as intuitive as I thought they would be to begin with. So you actually can use these finger holes to adjust the height of your handles. I believe we have, let's see, 2 different heights. Yeah, and they just clip in. I'm 6 foot tall, and this is a little high for me. I like the lower, so I'm gonna set mine down here. I like to push just above my waist. And if you come around here and check out this back end here, it's a pretty cool system. I like this slanted handle layout because it's more ergonomic just in holding. Nobody wants to hold flat handlebars, so this is a little better. And at first I thought, oh, we need to press this button to turn things on. And when you hit this power button, you'll see you do get a battery indicator. Let me hit it again for your battery. So it says we've got a battery in the left compartment. It's at 100%. That's kind of cool to see. You have a turbo button, which I find hilarious because this is probably the fastest mower I have tested for a self-propelled mower yet. It's super fast. Then below it, you have your drive speed. This is for the self-propulsion. Turtle's slow, rabbit's fast. But that's not the way you operate this mower. What you want to do is first, you pull back the green handle. Then you hit the power button, and that starts your blade. So you do that, your blade starts up. And we won't go anywhere at the moment, but that was not intuitive. You have to read those little tags and instructions that it comes with. So make sure you remember that you pull the handle first, then press the power button, not the other way around. All right, so if you're ready, I'm ready to test this thing out. We're gonna go ahead and head to the front yard and see how it does. All right, I'm gonna mow this little section right up here. You'll see it's a little overgrown, even though we haven't had much rain in the last week or two. I'm gonna start out at level 4 with my deck. And in fact, I think that's a little high. I'm gonna chance it and go down to 3, start there. And I'm gonna start with my drive speed right in the middle. I'll give you feedback what I think about that. But from my testing earlier, I can tell you, this thing basically goes faster than some people can walk. So we'll see how it does, and I'll give you feedback along the way. All right, some quick feedback after just a few minutes using this. I can tell you this is super light. It is really easy to maneuver. I don't know if that's just the weight or if it's a compliment to the wheels, because it's just easy to turn. And a lot of these you feel like you're heaving. I don't know if that's a combination of the handles and the deck, just the weight and the size of everything, but extremely easy to maneuver. The second thing I can tell you is that it's really fast. I've already had to back down the speed. So I'm gonna do a couple passes on the concrete to show you just how fast this thing is, because the top speed is probably faster than you wanna go, and it has a turbo. So just keep that in mind, but it seems to be collecting into the bag really nice. You get a good suction on this bag. We're about halfway full and you see the bag fill up, which means you got a good suction from underneath, pulling it and kind of sucking it back into the bag. But I'm gonna finish this section, then we'll do a speed test. But as far as cutting, this is as easy as it gets. We kind of got brown, crispy grass here at the end of the season, but this does a really easy, quick job, easy to maneuver, feels lightweight, and I have absolutely no notes so far. So let's finish up. I'll give you final thoughts and then we'll do a speed test on the driveway. All right, so for maneuverability, this thing does a great job. I mean, this is a hard part of the yard to cut because there's lots of curves and lots of angles, but the ease with which you can just come on and off this throttle, you can kind of make your turn let off of your self-propulsion throttle. These are easy to grab down here on your thumbs, and I think overall it's just really easy to start and stop the self-propulsion, which if I have a complaint about most other lawnmowers that are self-propelled, it's that's just not easy to turn on and off. It's not quick and intuitive, but on this mower, it actually is. Now, I've got this long straight stretch of driveway here. I'm gonna do a couple passes up and down so you can see how fast this mower can go and the different levels of speed from slowest to fastest. So we'll get kind of positioned here and I'll show you that. All right, I'm starting off at the slowest. This is the slowest speed. Then this is about halfway up, and this is fast. Still, fastest speed I can maneuver and turn, but it's a brisk pace. I mean, a lot of people can't walk this fast while mowing. Then down to about half. This is where I spent most of my time, and then slow. This is the slowest. So, I mean, as you can see, even at top speed, it's still easy to maneuver. You can let off of this lever, get back on it quickly. I like that. I think somewhere right in the middle is a good speed. We mowed at height 3, and I think that's actually a really good height as well. If you want it a little longer, maybe 4 or 5, 7's gonna be really tall, 1 is gonna be golf course. But overall, the maneuverability and just the versatility of this mower speaks volumes. Let's check out our bag here, see how much we collected. Yeah, see? Whole front yard here, we got some decent clippings. And you'll see they're just nice and fine. Didn't leave any thick clumps of grass in there. But again, this is dry grass, so it's the easiest to cut. Obviously, we're covered in clippings right here, but overall, I'm really impressed with this. I'm gonna be mowing with this the rest of the season. Just the maneuverability, the ease with which it cuts through the corners and just makes everything work, makes my life a whole lot easier. So I'm just gonna keep using it. If you're in the market for an electric push mower, I think Greenworks is a great place to look because they're one of the top tier electric brands, and you can mix and match. You can get this with a string trimmer, and then you have 2 batteries. I mean, we've been mowing for, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes of testing here. I'm gonna test my battery. We still have 3 of our 4 battery lights on. Again, this is a 4 amp hour battery, so it's gonna last a long time. Throw another one in there and you're gonna get double the time, but I think this is a good brand to start with. It's certainly the highest quality electric mower that I have used this summer to date as we've been testing these, and we've probably done half a dozen so far. So if you're in the market, check it out for yourself. I'll leave links down in the description below if you wanna do that. As always, my name is Joel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next review.